avoid it?
I try to avoid the news a lot because it's a source of entertainment and negative influence, in my opinion. But as far as you were talking about, if you want to hear my opinion as to what's going on, I don't know who this Kumo guy is because I'm not in New York, but I do know his brother from CNN.
Oh
But
God.
I
Yep.
but
Yep.
just hear me out, okay? Just hear me out. You know how,
All right.
you know, um, I think it's possible that um, Kumo is one of the, as we like to call them, Trumpers and stuff. The people dedicated to Trump and stuff. And
Right.
so anybody who follows Trump knows that he's uh, out of office, but he's still in office behind closed doors. And I'm not
100%.
going to go off. I'm not going to go off on that, but I just I said that he's out of office, but he's in office behind closed doors.
I
Yeah,
can
I
see
feel
that.
I feel like right now, a lot of these resignments things too, like it's an ultimatum. It's like, yo, like
It is an ultimatum.
the dudes
It
above
is, man.
them, they're like, yo, Cuomo, either or they'll probably call him Andrew, right? They'll be like, yo, Andrew, me and you go way back, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I saw
See,
your kids
see,
get that.
just like how, um, well, I I got all kinds of names for Trump, but yeah, I'm talking about Trump because he used to be the lead. He was supposed to be the leader, but instead he was the leader of blackmail and all this stuff going on, and he still wants
Mhm.
attention as the president in 2024. And this honestly could be, at least just in my opinion, a setup or something.
To me, like if I put on my tin hat and get into my conspiracy brain, I find it really weird how when Biden was in office the last time, we had a big Pizzagate, and then Jeffrey Epstein end up getting hit under the bus under that, and now
Yeah.
all of a sudden Cuomo is now under the same exact
Well,
bus.
I'm
It's
not
like,
saying that I'm not saying that everything's perfect, okay? I mean, I'm saying that, you know, I'll probably get in trouble for saying this, but I vote based on qualifications, not parties, okay?
oh yeah, me too. Yeah, I'm a
Oh
misfit in these
yeah.
streets.
And
I'm
Yeah.
if
actually
Parties
colorblind.
are parties
I
are
mean,
less. I'm sorry. Yeah.
God, God help me, because I did get deceived into voting for Trump last time, but I ain't
Hmm.
making that mistake again.
Why not?
But why am I not doing it? Because he's a piece of work,
Okay,
and
let's elaborate on that, Greg. Why do you think Trump is a
okay,
piece of work?
I think that I think that he convinces people or ultimatums people. I think he has a criminal background. What with his Trump organization and his taxes. I think
Okay.
he led the insurrection. I
Okay.
think he blackmailed and probably even asked women for sex, just like people are accusing Kumo of doing. I mean, what I'm saying to you is he. It's not so much about what Trump does. It's a pattern that people follow, but they don't know that they have um, a top person in command. You know,
So, do you know that the Supreme Court actually sat down with Trump and talked to him about his taxes already? And
I don't.
he proved to the Supreme Court before he was president actually how he beat their own system. And because of that, the US government actually made Trump the leading advisor, the leading expert in financials in the US government. This is before he was president.
Um,
Yeah.
uh, that could be true, but I wouldn't believe it myself.
I mean, it's just, like a lot of these, and it's not saying like, Trump is the only one that, played the tax game. It happens all the time. You
Yeah,
know, billionaires do it for way more. Not even
yeah,
billionaires, hedge
Yeah, of
fund
course.
workers do it for worse and all that. So I
and
feel
you
like,
know, while I'm on here,
yeah,
I'm not going to identify who and what and stuff, but I have a hard time with society altogether believing that we're that stupid to believe in investing or giving things to a man we know nothing about or even less when we can't even get ourselves, to invest in poverty stricken communities.
I feel that. I feel that
I
100%. I
agree.
feel like
I
that.
mean,
I feel like that is a
I
problem.
just want to say that I'm sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt. I have a bad
Yeah,
habit
yeah.
of doing it. But
Nah,
No,
for
you
God's
nah, you're
sakes,
good, bro.
you.
I've been on SSI since 2004, right after I graduated high school. Okay, and
Okay.
that's not even the brink of my story.
Hmm.
But
Mm,
to other people, I look I look like an intelligent, normal person and stuff, and I'm not degrading myself because of it, but it's like, have you ever seen that movie Miss Sloane?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna give you a summary of it, but basically one of the quotes in there from from a boyfriend of hers says, she says something. So Sloane says, "I grew up lying, Ford. I know all about how to lie. I had no choice. I needed to be normal." And the boyfriend says, "Normal is overrated." And that actually really struck me because it is overrated to be normal. You're supposed to be different, right?
hmm
And so,
Hmm.
anyways, what I guess I'm saying is that nobody wants to look at your differences, do they?
100%.
No,
Right.
yeah, no.
And so nobody wants to make the change. And I hate being a fucking naysayer, but nobody really wants to make the change. They all just want to whine and complain and bitch. And it's
True.
weird, man. It's weird to me as hell. It is weird because, see, all of us in society probably work harder, if we're brought up from the lower end and stuff, money wise, education wise, than any upper class person. I'm just guessing, but I know that's true for me. And it's like I haven't gotten a dollar for hardly anything, and that's the law. That's the law, man. But I guess what I'm saying is the law is justified for different people, and it doesn't make sense.
So I asked this to my VOP team. What was it? VHS. I think it was it last week or 2 weeks ago. What's
Yeah, I
5
believe.
things that you think that can change either your community or the country, and not even a whole, but just like a start? What's the 5 things
Okay.
that can start the change?
Okay.
Right.
Well, I'll try and give you a couple of things. I don't know why it says live and says ready if I'm already live, but whatever. Um,
Yeah.
um,
Whatever. Yeah, it's fine.
yeah. So I think I think first off there needs to be education, and the right education from the start. The next thing I need, like, yeah, I won't tell people what to do, but we gotta cut down on the crappy bullying and the amoralistic standards. Okay, that's number one. Second, we gotta start thinking for ourselves. Thinking critically about how this affects us or how it affects people or a community. Those are the main two things. And then funding and group support, um, that could interact with it. And finally, you got. I say this in my documentaries called the One by One documentaries. I hope to get it distributed. But the fifth thing that makes it come all together is, can you turn that down so I can tell you?
Yeah.
It, it's strength in all three aspects: physically, emotionally, and intellectually. And that if you have all these, you will be very, very strong. Now, whether or not somebody pays you what you deserve is a whole nother matter, and that's something I could go off and on about. But I could, I hope I gave you a good opinion.
Nah, you said a couple of good things. Education. You said strength. Emotionally, you kind of cut off there on my end.
Physically, no, it's. I said strength. Psychologically, how did I say it? Emotionally and intellectually, and maybe
Mm.
even physically if you want to.
So you think the country's not strong intellectually?
I'd say I'd say partially, but I also think that they rely on division more than being united because it's like they have different communities, but they refuse to be all one United States or all one people or whatever. At
But
the
does
end of
that
the
mean that
day,
their intelligence is lacking?
no, it just means they're choosing to be separate.
So I'm not. I think you're not understanding my question. You said
Yeah.
we need more strong intelligence,
So
right,
so
in
let
this country or your
so
community.
let me try and do this. So like critical thinking is intelligence, right? Like intellectual intelligence. If you go to college, if you understand the material, if you can apply it, and if
Critical
you
thinking skills, yeah, is one aspect of
yeah.
intelligence. 100%.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
now the emotional thing, right? The emotional strength that after you survive a trauma or two or three in your life, or have a medical condition and you're living with and you're surviving basically, you know. And then what was the other one that I said? Psychologically, that kind of goes in between physical and emotional, as well as a successful mindset.
So I feel like stronger intelligence is at least for me personally, I think that's a poor way to say it. I do think people, especially in urban communities, have great critical thinking skills. Actually,
Okay,
in our upbringings, we actually the first things we learn is critical thinking skills because we have to
that's
act.
very interesting.
Um,
That's very, very
if
interesting, man.
health
Can you
concerns
help?
and emotionally traumas and stuff like that, there's again,
Hmm.
people in urban communities, they handle that very well. We actually handle from the time of birth to 9, it's statistically we're supposed to be
Hmm.
going through 1 or 2, 3 traumatic experiences in an urban community. So I feel like America's getting there with that. I wouldn't say that America is lacking intelligence because I feel like that's one thing that
I
we do
didn't say
have.
that.
But
I
you said
think
that
I
we're
said that, but
strong.
maybe
You
I'm
said
wrong.
stronger, and you said we need a stronger intelligence. So you say stronger intelligence, that means that we're lacking in strength of intelligence, correct?
I was just saying we need to be, we need strength in intellectual and emotional, and I believe it was physical or something. I believe. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I'm sorry. I have a
No,
hazy memory,
That's
but
fine.
nah,
that's
nah, you're perfectly
that's what
fine. I'm just trying to make it clarify. Like, I asked you, what are things that you can change in the country to make it better? And you said that these changes were that. And one of them was strong emotionally, strong intellectually, strong
Yeah.
psychologically, and you said maybe
that.
if you want to, strong physically. So if these are
Yes,
things that you want to change, that means that America doesn't have it. Correct? I'm just trying to clarify. I'm trying to make sure you understood my question so I can go with yours.
I suppose it can be taken one that way, but I see it as we need to get better.
Okay. Okay. So you said get better. Okay, this is perfect. So again, you mentioned critical thinking. So you think people in your
Mhm.
community don't, or in your community, not in the world, but in your community, the people that you talk to every day, they don't have critical thinking? skills, or their critical
I
thinking
think
skills are
that I
subpar?
think, well, you have to remember something about me first, because I I write and have all sorts of skills, and most of my world revolves around online and stuff. Um, because um, because I didn't actually get uh, a degree and stuff, financial stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
this doesn't look like a city, you know what I mean?
100%.
Right.
So,
Oh,
but
were you gonna explain more? I have no idea why you said that. Then you said you have to remember. I don't know why
which
you said that.
no,
So
I said that I don't live in like a city. I wish I did, but what I said was I like to my whole environment, and especially with the online world and online business and stuff, is now related to the internet. So what my point is that I know very few people that are actually intelligently strong, and I like talking good conversations with them. What I'm actually referring to is like the online presence that people say, and the younger generation.
no, I definitely feel that. With the online community, it's definitely
Yeah. Yeah.
a cesspool
Yeah.
of dumbness and
Yeah. Complete
ignorance
difference.
Well, and,
and
and see,
prejudice and all that stuff.
they think that's cute too, you know,
Of
and that's
course,
why they do it.
Yeah.
That's
of
why they
course.
do it.
And I don't think it's, and I think that's a problem. You know, I'm,
Yeah.
I guess to me, I'm more for of we won't fix the internet unless we fix the people around us, because
Right.
the people that control the internet are the people that are around us, right? So if we hate ignorant people on the internet, if I communicate with more people on a physical basis and make them of knowledge instead of lack of knowledge, then that will
Right.
hopefully
Right.
in the
I'm.
in the
I'm
theory
also
of,
sorry.
yeah.
I was just thinking that. I was just thinking that maybe that could be the job of parents and the schools, and maybe some of us, because you know I'm still, to be quite honest, I'm still transitioning out of the thinking of the school and now this digital age and stuff, because even though I graduated in '03, it took me almost 12, 13 years of college, and it didn't pan out well. But I struggled a lot throughout that, and I still became quite intelligent and stuff. So what I'm saying is, I believe that, you know um, what I believe is that it could also be the parents' job. It could also be the school's job to teach and educate, but we got to figure out moderation as well too. Because people are just influenced by TV too much. You know,
So instead of moderating kids to watch TV, should we put more s-
we should put we should
learning
put
stuff
more,
on the TV?
we should put more. Well, two things. We should put more emphasis on the little V chip thing. The thing that shows us the ratings and stuff, contrary to what you guys may think, because I believe personally that some of the things they watch influence their minds, but
Really?
I also
Well,
believe I
well,
also I also believe that the freedom of speech stuff in real life is easily mixed up with freedom to abuse. And
So
that's probably not. Yeah, that's
I
probably
feel like
not something you're gonna hear every day, but
I would
it's
have to disagree with
interesting.
you on TV warps kids' minds. Frankly, because I was in the generation of literally the best argument for this: Family Guy, the best version of The Simpsons, Mortal Kombat, the best versions of GTA,
yeah.
Saints
Yeah.
Row.
Well, see,
We were
I'm
into
kind of
all that as
I'm
kids.
I'm kind of the opposite, because I don't watch a lot of. I
Oh
wasn't
yeah,
watching.
oh yeah,
I
100%. Let
wasn't
me let
watching
me
a lot
let
of
me
Okay.
stuff.
finish. Let
Okay.
me finish though, bro. Let me finish real quick. So, I grew up in all that, and I binged all these things: Family Guy, Futurama, Vic. What am I missing that was bad in our childhood that we got
Oh, we
in?
got like remember even from like WWE in back then, to look at the attitude era it has. It's crazy edgy and stuff like that.
Even that, and then like even stuff. We was part of the generation where in bodegas they used to sell kids these little pop rocks where we will throw
Yeah,
to the ground and it will
probably in your
right.
generation. So be
Never,
careful with who you're
never
talking.
in my generation. Never in the kids that I've spoken to that are getting into all this stuff. And
Hmm.
I've met gangbangers. I know gangbangers, I know thugs, I know killers, and I always ask like, "Yo, where did this shit come from?" It never hit from, "Yo, the minute I was CJ in San Andreas, I knew my life was in the gangs." Like, it wasn't really like that. It was more because like
Nah.
the influence is outside. We kids get more influenced outside than they do on TV, internet, all that stuff. I've been watching anime for the past 10 years now. You've never
That's
once
cool.
seen me ever try to Rasengan a tree or try to fly
Yeah,
off of
right.
my roof.
Right,
Like
right.
That would be
it's not a
awesome. That would
thing.
be cool, but it's not.
But I got into
Seriously,
podcasting
man.
because I met a
Yeah.
dude that was into podcasting. I know kids that got
Hmm.
into gangs because they actually met a guy that was into gangs. It was a good dude, and he was like, "Yo, this is a great outlet." So to me, TV and all that stuff doesn't do anything that the real world doesn't already do times 10. So if we're gonna argue the real world, then we're just gonna have to argue. I mean, if we're gonna argue the TV, YouTube, gaming world, then we have
I'm
to
not
argue the
talking
real
about
world.
that. I'm comparing
Oh
the
no, I'm
two.
not saying you. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying like I don't. I'm just saying I don't agree that gaming,
Oh, it's
TV,
okay.
none of that has to do with influencing a kid's mind because that has nothing to do with it. When my dad was younger, he used to read comic books. My dad is 90 years old. He doesn't think he's super strong now because a spider bit him or because he's been a carpenter for so long. The carpenter gods have granted him everlasting life. Like
Right.
nah, he's just chilling. It's fun. It's a
Yeah, yeah,
fantasy. Like I know Carrie. Carrie's one of our hosts here. That she's a big giant Star Wars fan. Like she knows all the words from
yeah.
all the movies.
Awesome, dude. I
She's
love
never,
Star Wars.
yeah.
I just
And
I just
Yeah.
watched Rogue One today again.
perfect. And you're never
Nice.
the one, right? When somebody gets you mad, you just try to choke someone, right, with the force, right? Like
Right.
motherfucker.
Again, that would be awesome, but
That would be
no.
awesome. I
Although
wish.
although
I
Darth,
wish there was an
although
academy
Darth
for that.
Vader has one hell of a voice, I love it.
Yeah,
Right.
James Earl Jones is the fucking man. But
I
again, that's
know.
like I just feel like that's like big white people complaining. Like TV influences this. Drugs is the reason why kids are committing suicide. When it's like, not really. Like it's
Right.
all big noise to me, at least to me.
Yeah.
To me, it depends on the person. It depends on the psychological. What again with
And
that?
that's what I'm trying to say, basically, because the psychological in my mind has it's very iffy. It's not about me, but it's about it's like this is not 2018 or beyond, or is not what I obviously grew up with, and so I'm just trying to see, just I'm just trying to kind of figure out still what is going on and stuff, because I grew up in the barely the 90s and the mid 2000s, and that too, and maybe that 10 years and stuff, but so it's very different for me.
Yeah.
Nah, I
Welcome
feel
to the
you.
club.
What?
Welcome to the club. 1991. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out
1991.
too.
Is that your birthday, or is that your alumni?
Hmm. Who knows?
I love it. Yeah, yeah. No, I believe I was the alumni, at least high school, only in 2003, like I said. So,
Okay.
yeah, but I entered high school in about 99, I believe, somewhere in there. Man, that 90s music and stuff is so awesome.
Thank you. It's what I do. Yeah, thank you so much, Greg. So I appreciate the time that you have for coming out and giving us
Yeah,
this great talk. Definitely
hopefully,
follow us. Follow us,
yeah.
subscribe, bro. We have a bunch of shows, different things. We got a radio side that VHS
But
knows
I
all
saw
about.
that, man. I'm like, what exactly is this channel about and stuff? Because Voices of the People sounds pretty broad to me.
Yeah, it's voices of the people,
Ooh.
exactly as it sounds. It's a voice of the people. We created, the our great owner started this 9, 11 years ago, where
Cool.
he started realizing that freedom of speech was slowly dying, and he created Voice of the People so that it can be that one beacon where no matter where you're from, no matter what you think, no matter what you feel, because like we've had them all. We've had Trump supporters, Biden supporters, we have anarchists, we have Satanists, we have Christians. We've once had a
Oh,
transgender,
cool,
gender
man.
neutral, Trump supporting
I'm
Republican Democrat
actually,
supporter.
I'm actually an artist singer kind of
That's
thing,
great.
and I
Nice.
actually tried to. If anybody knows of where I can get help with distribution for my films, you guys would be really, really impressed in what I could do
Sure.
because
This distribution in what
Hmm.
way?
Yeah.
video distribution to the platforms and the cables or whatever. I have a series that's been on hold for about 4 or 5 years called the One by One documentaries, and it was originally 3 films, but I split them into like 40, 50-minute episodes typically to cover basically a season of like 20 some episodes. So
So,
Interesting.
Chris, you really are an old ass man. Um, Real quick, I'm kind of intrigued. Tell me a quick synopsis on your documentary series.
okay,
Yeah, man.
well, okay. The documentaries are called the One by One documentaries. You can see the whole couple 3 films on YouTube, but that's my personal site, and they're going to be taken down soon as this is distributed. But basically, the One by One documentaries is about basically how you can use media and your critical thinking skills to overcome traumas and society issues to change your mindset.
It's amazing. That's so
Okay.
interesting.
Okay.
Actually, if you can email the YouTube link I'm gonna put the email on the VOP website.
I can do that. I would need help with like financing and licensing and all that stuff.
Uh,
Ah.
well, we can talk about that after we look at your documentary.
Definitely,
That's definitely a thing. But
definitely,
I gave you
definitely.
the email
I
there.
will
We can
definitely send
definitely.
you the episodes through like a WeTransfer or whatever it's called, and
Yeah,
hopefully, hopefully we can work together and stuff. And I hope you
100%.
have me back on soon.
100%. With that being
Awesome.
said, guys, we are gonna end this show here. Vic, do you have any last thoughts, last words?
All I can say is like it's a good show. Glad Greg that you came over here, speak your mind. I appreciate it, man. And like always, be safe, be critically minded, and as always, have a nice day. Stay tuned to the next episode.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, everybody. You guys have a good one. I'm Sage Elias. This is the Roundtable, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday. Tomorrow's a conversation with Dan and Carrie.